Hey guys, MasterFiggy, and I'm bringing you another anime review, this time Freezing, Season 1. The series starts off with a young boy by the name of Kazuya Ao arriving at his new school that specializes in training Pandoras and Limiters.
Pandoras are girls that fight the Nova, using superhuman fighting abilities with the help of genetic tissue known as stigmata, while Limiters are their male partners that use freezing powers to cease their enemies' mobility.
So on his first day, Kazuya meets the main Pandora we follow throughout the series, Satellizer, aka the Untouchable Queen, in battle with another Pandora. For some reason or another, he mistakes her for his sister and intervenes in the fight and causes her to lose to the other Pandora. Pretty much the first half of the series is Kazuya just trying to be friendly with Satellizer and trying to get her to accept him as her limiter, where the other half is pretty much more of Satellizer trying to open up to Kazuya. Okay, so clearly the series is just another excuse to shove fan service in our faces. And to be honest, I don't mind shows with fan service, but as long as they focus on a good plot rather than
Plot.
I think it would have been better.
Most of the series is Satellizer fighting other Pandoras because she's strong and they want to be the strongest, and that's fair enough.
But there really isn't much need for it, but to show girls ripping each other clothes off because,
Plot.
And this pretty much goes on until maybe the last 3 or 4 episodes of the series, when they actually realize to develop plot rather than show developed
Plot.
Okay, so let's talk about our main characters. First, you have Kazuya.
Kazuya's older sister was a Pandora, and he lost his sister when he was only 6 years old. So he decided to become a limiter and enroll into the academy. And basically his general role is just to get closer to Satellizer, and that's pretty much all we know about Kazuya. He's a nice guy and that's it. He's pretty boring, to be honest. Satellizer is a very shy individual. She keeps to herself a lot and she doesn't like people touching her at all, and you do understand why when you see her backstory, which is quite disturbing, and it's very interesting to see that. She's also pretty much the strongest Pandora in the whole academy. There are quite a few side characters in this series, but they are general ones that you'd see in almost any anime or film. Like you have the best friend, the Lolita, the love rival. There's plenty of them, and there aren't really many that stand out to me that much that are worth talking about.
Now, I watched this anime in the English dub, and I have to say, generally it was pretty average, I guess. Some voice actors did stand out to me, like Caitlin Glass as Satellizer. Some of you might know her as Vivi from One Piece, or Haruhi from Oran, just to name a couple of her roles. And altogether, I think she did a great job, as did many of the cast. I recognised Colin Clinkenbeard, Lucy Christian, and Brina Palencia, just to mention a few voice actors. The opening and the ending songs are quite nice to listen to, and easily to listen to as well, but they're very forgettable and they don't really stick in your head that much. So they aren't something that really stands out to me. I can't even remember a note that's played in either song. The animation I felt was really nice, but the character designs weren't really too interesting. A lot of the time when there was a girl who had red hair, I really couldn't tell who was who, because there's like 3 girls with red hair. Their voices sound so similar and they all are wearing the same clothing. I just got a bit confused until they actually unleashed their weapons. But altogether throughout the series there wasn't really a big significance in design. You have all the girls wearing red uniforms and all the guys wearing a sort of pale brownish yellow uniform. And you see some of the teachers wearing lab coats, or nuns wearing their vestry, I don't know what they're called, or abbots. and then you have the Nova with their weird design that you see very briefly at the end. They were about average at the most in terms of their details. There's even a really weird scene in this anime that I cannot forget about, and I think people should know this. This moment is where it almost goes like past the borderline between ecchi and hentai. It was so weird when I first saw this. Okay, so basically Satellizer fights as Pandora. She's a third year and Satellizer's only a second year, and they're fighting it out, and the third year basically rips off the front of Satellizer's top, so you see her chest, and there's no bra or anything there, and it gets really sort of freaky-ish hentai stage at this point. She starts fondling her, she starts going, I bet you haven't been touched like this, that's why you're the untouchable queen, and then she throws her onto the ground. It's just bizarre, and puts Satellizer's ass in the air. She lifts up her skirt, pulls down her underwear, and she says to her limiters, okay boys, you know what to do, get them out. And they're like, yes ma'am. And I was like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? Now lucky enough, they were only taking out their phones to take pictures, which was still weird and it's still wrong, but it's better than what it was sort of implying. I just cannot forget this scene. I just think I'll just add this clip in so people know what they're getting into when they watch this anime, if they watch this anime. Altogether with this series, I can't say I enjoyed too much watching it. Sure, the artwork was really nice, but it just wasn't what I was hoping for. I was hoping for more something well structured in terms of stories, and maybe the fan service could fit in properly, even with a serious tone, like that anime Rin, Daughters of this anime. Or even the fact that they fight each other, tearing each other's clothes off. I thought maybe it would have been something like Sekirei, a comedy sort of ecchi slice of life anime. But unfortunately I did not get either of these, and it just didn't work out in terms of enjoyment for me. Voiceovers were good, you know, the animation was actually quite nice, but designs weren't great. The actual structure of the story just did not suit me, and I just couldn't enjoy it that much if it was just fan service the whole time. That's why I'm gonna give this anime about 4.5 stigmatas out of 10. If you really enjoy fan service, this is probably the show for you. If you're not really a big fan of fan service, then don't touch it at all. But if you don't really mind fan service and look for an enjoyable story, I will point you towards Sekirei, or at least the first series, because it's about a tournament fighter where there's 108 aliens, and basically they all have different elements and superpowers, and there is quite a bit of fan service, just like Freezing, but it's more of a comedy, so it fits in better into it. If you're looking for something a bit more serious, then I would recommend checking out Rin, Daughters of this anime. It's a lot more serious with its story, very enjoyable, very different, I have to say, from other animes that you've seen, and it's very graphic, so I would recommend you be at least 17 years old to watch that, because it gets insanely graphic. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, tell me what you thought, and also if anyone who has actually watched the second season or read the manga, leave your comments down below. Maybe I'll try them out, because so far I don't think I will if it was like this first series. But if you have seen the second anime and think it's better, or if you've watched the manga and think that's completely better than the anime, please write down below. I want to thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out more of my videos, and hopefully there'll be more on the way. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.